Not lost his mind.
All right. And we're live. Welcome to the Redeye stream, number 2 motherfucking 100. I can't believe we hit that mark. Here we are. Repeal the 14th Amendment, Tema? Really?
Yeah. Repeal.
I guess rinse, use, and repeat. Maybe that's what they just... Maybe they misunderstood the words. I don't know.
Well, no. Well, it's really weird about how Trump is saying with an executive order, he's pretty much going to take away, quote unquote, anchor babies, because that's not exactly what it is. When you are born within United States territory, you are an American. You automatically are granted rights as a citizen. Are you not?
Yes, but also at the same time, Dodge, do you think it's okay that people will come over while wifey is pregnant and have the kid there so they can have an anchor baby?
Do I think it's okay? No, don't let the bitch across the border to begin with. But once she gets here and she pops the kid out, sorry, we have the 14th Amendment. You shoved it down the Confederate States' throats after you won the war, and now you want to repeal it? Go fuck yourself.
Okay, so we should stick to something that caused the Civil War 150 years ago, so we should really stick to that idea.
We stick to freedom of speech, don't we?
Well, yeah, we do, but at the same time, I don't know. See, this is kind of a weird, touchy subject. I think the 14th Amendment itself, it had great intention behind it, but it was really poorly written. And I think maybe there was a lack of foresight of leadership at the time to recognize that any precedent they wrote in that moment was going to be looked at legally later. Unlike the founding fathers that were able to plan ahead for what they wrote, the leadership at the time of the implementation of the 14th Amendment just didn't have that kind of foresight attached. Personally, I think that's what happened.
Ranting Monkey was doing his morning show, and it's more or less about slavery than anything else. If that makes sense.
It was meant to be entirely about slaves, talking about their legal rights and what they were entitled to as slaves, because they weren't recognized as citizens, because they weren't recognized as people. So we had to kind of fill that gap. And I understand
they were recognized as people, 3/4 of a person at least. But that was for 3/5, 3/4. Fuck off! I don't care. No, okay. I'm sorry. Let's look at this exactly here. Amendment 14, citizenship rights, ratified in 1868. First section: all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. Isn't that what they're talking about? Revoking through executive motherfucking order? Come on. Executive order, Tema?
I hate the executive order part. If you want to go back and you want to revisit this whole idea, seriously, I'm more than happy to revisit the idea of anchor babies and determining what actually naturalization is, because we haven't even really nailed that term down as legally either. We've left that as a kind of wishy-washy term. Maybe we shouldn't nail it down. I don't know, but it isn't nailed down. And I think that's kind of causing the problem, is that we don't really understand what's the difference between a naturalized citizen and a nationalized citizen, somebody who's come in and moved in, rather than somebody who was born on the land. And at a time when we didn't have as large a populace and we were still expanding and growing as a nation and acquiring more land, it made sense to just let everybody come in like that and have this naturalization through immigration process where we didn't really focus on it too much, even though, we were still discriminatory during those times. But you won't hear the mainstream media talk about that part.
Well, you didn't mind Chinese when you needed the railroad.
Actually, we did. We minded them before and after that, though, didn't we?
Yeah, no, and we fucking hated the Irish.
No, we did. We minded who came in.
The Irish were treated worse than the fucking slaves in the South in New York. Are you kidding me? They had dirt fucking
well, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. You're looking at the sort of, these people who were brought in. Well, the Chinese, and I mean, these were the people who were really
the Irish
the worst.
And the Chinese were the indentured servants that built the railroad. So when some people say, yes, America was born on immigrants, yeah, we were. But at the same time, we have something that is called American pride, American culture.
Yes, well, the thing is,
every color. Go ahead, Kevin. Sorry.
No, I was going to say it's more based on the shared principles, which are, I mean, you can say Judeo-Christian or whatever you want, but based around the idea of do unto others, that kind of thing. That there are standards which are applied, that are understood. There is a social contract, and that's what the society is built upon, is that social contract. And you get other people coming in wanting to change the contract.
Okay, Cabbage, but I have a question. Does that social contract, does it include religion? I don't think it does. I think a lot of people...
No, it shouldn't. No. I'm saying, but principles are born out. Like the social contract was born out of certain principles, which were kind of, came from, well, they weren't really from religion, but, basic human
real quick
considerations.
I was reading over the 14th Amendment again, in Section 3. Tema, if you want to make an argument that the 14th Amendment is outdated, look at Section 3 of said amendment, where it's talking about people participating in a rebellion not being allowed to hold office. I wonder who they're talking about.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't saying it wasn't outdated. I'm just saying using executive order to try to go about any of this is wholly and completely wrong. Wholly and completely. It's a bad angle, and I think it's just going to set a precedent that could be really, really bad for the rest of us. It's bad.
You know what? I want to go for the least common denominator here real quick. If you are marching thousands of miles across multiple different nations, I don't care if you're holding a Honduran flag. I don't care if you're holding a Guatemalan flag. I don't care if you're holding a fucking Mexican flag. But you should also be holding an American flag if this is the country that you want to fucking migrate to better your fucking standard of living. You shouldn't be burning it.
Skippy Doku. Fucking man.
Doku, this is exactly what I said. It was like when you saw that, the banners and everything that were being flown and these people going forward, it's like, like you'd see in the old medieval times, the different banners of the, with the different lords and things. I mean, that's what they were based. That's what it is. And they say it's not an invasion force. Well, it's certainly not. It seems to have a certain, like they are clearly saying that we are bringing what we are with us. You know what I mean? Well, it's not saying we want to be.
This is my thing. This is my thing.
We want to be part of you.
I don't care if they have national pride. I don't care if they have pride in their country of origin or their ethnicity or their nationality. What I care about is the fact that they want to come to this country, but yet at the same time have the audacity, at least a certain element within that group, to burn the fucking American flag, but yet they want to come to fucking America. That seems to be rather disturbing to me.
Okay, but what about somebody like me? I fucking own, I don't know how many Confederate flags anymore. I mean, I can go count. But, I mean, is that necessarily bad that I'm flying the fucking flag of the Army in Northern Virginia?
I don't care about the fact that you're flying a specific flag. What I care about is the fact that these people are coming here illegally. That's a different topic. But the fact that they're burning the American flag, yet this is the country that they claim they want to come to seek refugee status or economic prosperity.
On the American flag and burning it, Doku. Painting a fucking swastika and burning it. No, we don't want you in this country, you fucking asshole.
Well, that almost makes you a combatant of the state. Remember back in the 60s or 70s, they were trying to make non-Americans who burn an American flag subject to being, what was it, like put on a list or barred. It was part of that McCarthy thing. Remember that?
I do.
The flag burning thing was, I can't remember the details. I'm too old.
Well, again,
oh my God,
this is where I draw. This is where I draw an issue. And hold on, Mad Dodge, I'm going to cut you off real quick, but I'm going to be quick. This is where I draw an issue. This is not someone who was born in this country exercising their First Amendment rights to burn a flag, which I highly disagree with, and I think is incredibly disrespectful. But it is technically
you are allowed to do it. It is free speech. Continue. I'm sorry.
But here's where I draw the issue: is the fact that you're coming into this country illegally And yet, all the while doing so, you claim you want to come to this country while burning its fucking flag. Do you really want to come
and waving, waving a different banner?
Yeah, do you really want to come to this country because you're looking for a better life? You want some economic prosperity? Or are you, what's the reason? Because I can guarantee if I was going to be moving to fucking England, or if I was going to be moving to fucking Germany, the
I'm
last
not going
thing
to burn the flag.
Especially if I was doing it illegally, the last thing I would be doing is burning the national flag of that country.
Well, no, and real quick.
Yeah, it would definitely draw attention to you, wouldn't it?
Real quick.
Hold on.
No, yeah, first off, memes, go fuck yourself, and I hope Boston blows the fuck up. Anyway, Hammered Spud says, hail memes. MADD wants to replace the 14th Amendment with the 14 words, as far as I can gather.
Oh, that's harsh. That's fighting talk, is that?
That's a hot take right there.
That was a BB.
Well, we need to secure.
We need lobsters now.
Never mind. I'm leaving the 14 words out of this.
You need to leave the 14 words out of it, and you won't be able to stream again for like a year.
Okay, so
okay. Well, we'll go with We'll forget the 14 words and just go with 1488.
During the Bush administration, when they started fucking going after Iraq and all that shit, I hung the American flag upside down, half-mast.
Yeah.
I did that for a reason.
America was in distress.
With a POW flag right above it. Because I do respect our veterans, and I do respect our country. Continue, whoever.
Well, no. See, the thing is, though, you can respect the country and respect the veterans. Fine. Do you respect the 14th Amendment? I mean, we are talking about a person born within the territorial boundaries of the United States of America being revoked of their citizenship. Is that really okay?
No, it's not.
No. If you respect the Constitution, don't you have to respect the 14th Amendment? I mean, you can't just have.
See,
it's all or nothing, isn't it?
Well, there's an argument that the 13th and the 14th were shoved down certain states' throats and they were forced to sign it to rejoin a union they tried to leave. There is an argument to be made here, but it's not the argument anybody's making. They just don't want Mexicans to be American citizens. It's kind of a racist idea here. I'm sorry, it really fucking is. He's targeting a certain class of people, right?
Well, I don't even know if he's necessarily targeting a certain class of people, because the Chinese are notorious for doing it in America too. Okay, in Europe, the Chinese they drop their kids everywhere they can get citizenship, and it's not because they're trying to infiltrate for communistic reasons. It's because they're trying to escape communism a lot of times. So it's kind of. Cabby, if you're trying to talk, it's not working. There's just a bit of garble and static when you talk. I think.
Huh?
Oh, no, okay, because it was just doing static. It was flashing. I didn't know if you were trying to talk or not. It was just popping up on me. It's just letting you know it was a problem. So your mic is shit, I guess.
No, it's fine.
Anyway.
A bit of wiggle. That's you don't know you.
You know what? I'm going to say this. If it wasn't. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, if it wasn't for half-baked immigration policy that was limp-handed to begin with, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
How about we stop doing emotionally based immigration? I would rather have a kind of nationalistic immigration policy like Japan. Really, honestly, I would.
I agree. Yeah. That's the reason. I mean, just the fact that we even have a frickin' lottery. And yes, I know CNN would fucking love to pull me on and try to fucking debunk me. But yes, there is a literal lottery about whether or not you can come into this country.
There is a lottery.
Oh, yeah.
I actually applied for it myself.
Yes, I looked at that. But the weird thing was, apparently Britain isn't on the lottery list. You can't apply. You can't get in the lottery if you're British.
Actually, yeah, I would
preferred citizenship status.
I would challenge
no.
anyone to go look
if
at.
you're British, you're an allied country, so you don't have to worry about the lottery.
Oh.
No, you do.
I would challenge anybody. Go look at the
it's
countries that
harder.
are actually eligible for the lottery.
Oh yeah.
You might be surprised.
Being a British citizen, you could apply for the lottery up until Obama took over.
And oh, by the way, I don't even think it's an actual lottery because if you go look at some of the statistics, which the NPC media will never tell you about, but if you look at some of the statistics, you want to know one of the top 3 countries where you get the most quote unquote migrants from who win this lottery. One of them happens to be Somalia.
Yeah.
Oh, so the refugees are winning the lotteries now?
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. You see, what Obama did is he focused the lottery on specific countries based on their skin color in order to have a more diverse America, rather than just
not even a real lottery.
Well, fuck him, dude. He doesn't need to socially engineer my country.
Well, that's the thing. It's not even a real lottery. It's basically they're doing the same exact thing that the European Union has been doing with their NGO and their migrant can we call it a philosophy, policy, whatever the hell
I think we can call it what it is. It's a free for all. It's a free for all.
It's a
and that's the thing. They're just putting a different name on it, but it's the same damn thing.
Yeah.
The majority of it tends to be North and Central Africa. It's not even South Africans. Yeah. God forbid if you're a white South African that actually has farming skills that actually wants to come over here and actually work on a farm. Nope.
Hey,
you that's over to Russia.
South Africans and the Russians.
Japan should monopolize on that.
At least the Australians have offered sanctuary.
But are they not fighting with that? So. Are the left not fighting? That revoked?
No, probably.
Hey, you guys did hear that the Zulu Nation stands with the white South African farmers.
Yep. Because they know where their food comes from.
Yeah, because they're not
exactly, and they've also they've seen what happens, like Zimbabwe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
They know what happens.
Well, real quick, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but didn't South Africa just pretty much have a pendulum switch? They had segregation with the whites pretty much all on top, and now they swung the other way, right?
Well, yeah, Dodge, that has to do with apartheid, and apartheid was bullshit, clearly. But even Nelson Mandela didn't want to kill the Bora, or the Boer, as they called them.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago.
The Boers, which is And here's the thing, which is what the media will never tell you about when it comes to the Boers and specifically the Dutch and to a smaller degree the Portuguese that actually quote unquote colonized, to use the word of the progressive left. When they colonized South Africa, they didn't come and just steal the fucking land. They bought and traded for it.
Oh, yeah.
And, oh, by the way, a lot of the people that are now currently living in South Africa, they weren't South African to begin with either. They were actually they were actually invaders, technically. If you go back and look at the fucking history of it, they invaded and fucking killed people and actually legitimately stole land. And now they're claiming like, oh, the evil white devil. It's like, yeah, they bought and paid for it and compensated people for their land. Let's look at the history of your ancestors and see if you did the same, because I have an itching suspicion the answer is no.
Yeah, because no native tribe has ever tried to kill another native tribe.
Ever. No, they're all kumbaya. There's nobody but white people. White people are the most violent people on the planet. They're the only Europeans are the only ones that ever tried to expand their lands. They're the only ones that practiced colonization, and they're the only ones that did exploration. And there's only white people.
And I don't want to get off on a tangent about this, but I just want to point one thing out. If you just look at things from a basic economic standpoint, if you're going to talk about the transatlantic slave trade, if there's no supply, then there's no demand. So you're telling me that a bunch of people bought slaves Well, that's the demand. Where was the supply coming from?
You can't talk
Oh
about
no!
that.
I mean, look, we
Hmm.
already know this, right? Britain spent a third of its entire GDP at one point paying people not to sell slaves. So actually trying to prevent them from selling them, actually paying them not to have slaves. And so, but then guess what they did? They took the money not to sell the slaves, and then they went and sold the slaves anyway. Well, what a big fucking surprise. So,
Yes, do you know why Britain abolished slavery? So they could sell steam engines. So they could start the Industrial Revolution.
Exactly. Well, I mean, we never had slaves anyway. We enslaved our own. That's why you had latchkey kids and stuff. You know.
Yes.
That's why kids working in the mills and stuff.
That's why he isn't invaded Ireland yet.
Well, and also something else that's very important to point out, because
blame us for yours.
something else very, very important to point out, since the evil white man and their slaves and all of this, let's take a look at all of the other nationalities and empires or dynasties throughout history that have engaged in slavery.
Did you drown your daughter recently? I mean, you could be Chinese.
Chinese?
Not recently. Hell, you know what? She hasn't bobbed back up again yet. I can't do it again.
You'd be better off being enslaved by the Chinese, because if it was blah blah blah. If I can talk, if it was the fucking Mongolians, they'd just fucking cut your throat in the town square and fucking make an example out of you.
Goddamn Mongolians! You tear down my shitty wall. Sorry.
Well, nice South Park reference. But yeah, we can look at the Chinese, we can look at the Japanese, we can look at the Mongolians, we can look at the Roman Empire, we can look at the Persian Empire, we can look at the Greeks, we can look at the Gauls, we can look at the Huns, we can look at the Carthaginians. Take your fucking pick.
And which was the most civilized?
We can look at the fucking Aztecs. We can look at the fucking Hispanic in America. Like,
yes, but the
there are more Hispanics in America than fucking people realize. We came from the South. Not all of us are fucking Mexican, and fuck off with that nonsense.
Oh, go make me a fucking burrito, you son of a bitch. Fuck you.
If we're gonna talk about that, the Mongolian will cut your throat in the fucking town square to make an example of you. That would be a better fate than being enslaved by the fucking Romans or Carthaginians.
Well, no.
The Aztecs will walk your ass up to the top of a temple and cut your heart out while you're still alive.
I don't remember the British Empire ever doing these sort of things. I mean, we occasionally shot people in town squares, but that was a rare thing.
Let's not forget that Spain and other regions around there were taken over by Muslims for 900 years.
Specifically the Moors.
I have one word for you guys: guillotine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, you see, once again, it's you. What is it with you and your fucking French bloody thing? All you want to do is go back to the French, don't you?
Well, I mean, when you have a pretentious cunt that's sitting on her fucking throne telling him, "Oh, well, let them eat cake." Yeah, he kind of piss people off a little bit.
Yeah, but you see, it's
but what if it's like they offer cake or death and the cake? We're first out of cake.
Okay, so what about that?
She chose cake.
So the choice is or death.
How about no biscuits, no ice buns? I mean, I'm willing to negotiate.
Yeah, the cake at least have frosting.
I mean, I guess if you want to make a pun about cutting the cake, then there you go.
I'll take a croissant.
Isn't there a
croissant?
It is just a dinner, an after dinner mint. It is weather thin.
But wasn't there a question of whether
they were not Mr. Creosote? They were starving.
Shut up, Kevin.
They were not fat. They were starving.
No. What I'm saying.
Shut up.
Do you think she meant eat cake or eat cake from the fucking the chimney? Because there's an argument.
Chimney.
Well, no, see, actually back then, you had bread, which could be sold as bread, but then whenever you put so much shit into it, like sawdust and chalk to try and make the flour go further. You weren't allowed to sell it as bread. You had to sell it as cake.
A cake.
Yeah.
Well, and also a lot of those
is,
ingredients came through, ironically enough, the transatlantic slave trade and also the Silk Road. So, yeah, cake was a lot more expensive.
well, weirdly enough, bread was also the reason that we ended up with weights and measures, so that you have standards.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
So
you
that
got
people
something
didn't
from
put
it.
shit into things.
Yep.
There you
At
go.
least you got
Now,
something
you know,
from it.
You gotta be grateful for small mercies.
As silver linings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, silver
Every
linings.
cloud.
Except for it's Cabby, so he just can't bring himself to be grateful. He just has to be pissed off about it.
Grateful
Oh,
for
no,
what?
sure.
I'm grateful for weights and measures. What do you mean? I'm happy with weights and measures. What are you
He's
talking
English.
about?
No, no, no.
You're
I'd be the type of
forgetting-
person. I don't know, but I'm trying to watch my girlish figure.
Mhm.
Well,
Although,
you see, well,
Cabby,
you got to cut down
technically-
on the bread then. Too many carbs.
Carbs
Cabby,
are
technically, though,
such
you
a
already got
bitch,
that
man.
from the Greeks, the Romans, and the Trojans. So, just pointing that out real quick.
No. The weights and measures thing was about the quality of the.
And
the
it's
bread.
still
It had
listening
be-
to the French, so don't tell me it's superior.
What, the French are superior to anything.
Just use the fucking imperial method, dude. What the fuck's wrong with you?
The French are barely superior to the Belgians.
Now that's a slur, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
really.
That was awesome, Cabby. Do that again.
No,
He's
I
not
mean,
gonna
it's
do it again.
spontaneous. It's spontaneous. You see, it's called laughter. You can't just ask somebody to laugh. It's not an imitation. I know
Why
that
not?
you do those sort of things.
I'm
You
making the
pretend,
demand
but
now.
I don't. You see? Yeah, you can make all the demands you want. I don't give a shit. Anyway,
Big demands? Never.
I know. It doesn't happen, does it?
No.
Easy going people.
Joshua in the chat says, "Well, hello, Mad Dog. Get your beer, bro. Yeah, cheers, buddy. And if you want to help me get another beer, I do have a Streamlabs. Anyway, no, go ahead.
Yeah. He's got a
Gotta chill.
Patreon too. Don't forget the Patreon.
It's Patreon. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I am out of time. I have to go
Beat your children?
beat knowledge into them, we will say. We're going to try to not use osmosis and possibly just read a few lessons together. Hopefully, sound waves work well today with the amount of other sound waves going on. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, but I am unfortunately out of time for today. So congratulations on the 200th episode, Mad, and you guys have a great day.
Thank you very much, Emma. Have a good night.
Bye, Emma.
All right, so now that the evil woman's is gone, we can get down to the show. No, kidding.
Now it's a sausage fest.
I'm sorry, I had to. So, Alfred, you've never been on the show before. It's open mic night. Is there a topic you want to talk about?
Perfect time for me to join then.
No,
Oh, no.
sorry.
Yeah, we got another evil woman.
We're not going to have to make our own sandwiches.
Oh my God, we have our vaginal quota.
I was waiting for something like that to happen in the stream, actually.
It's a very diverse panel.
There's no such thing as a gender pay gap. Just saying. Anyway.
Or a pink tax. You're buying the brand name.
Nah, I would say when it comes to non-equal pay, that's considered effort and what you actually put in. Not
Yeah.
because
You're
of
talking about
because of-
earnings, not wages.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean that you can't just be 45 years of age and still working at McDonald's?
Yes.
I'm actually talking
Well,
about
you-
wages.
well, certainly-
like,
well-
if you have a woman and a male both working at the construction site who can carry more, who can do more work, they should not have the same type of wage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but why would you put somebody who's incapable of doing something and
All right, dude.
in
I'm
that
just
position
gonna
to
play
begin with?
NPC. I was like, that's so completely sexist. Women contribute so much due to providing a
Yeah.
diverse workspace.
No, hold on.
Real quick.
Oh
No,
my
real quick.
Oh,
Real
and something
quick.
like there's no biological difference between males and females.
Well,
real quick. Real quick. Jacob in the chat says, why the fuck is no one drunk yet? Make this a drunk stream. Grab your drinks, people.
Bitch, I just got off work, man. I'm working on it.
I'm
Fuck, I guess I can grab my
make any
whiskey.
excuse for me.
Well, I
I'm
did
doing
get
okay.
a 25-year-old bottle of Black Bush given to me the other day.
Make use of it.
Oh,
Break it open.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but that's all the encouragement I need.
That's it. Release the demons.
Yeah.
What, dude? I actually kind of want to go back to the topic of the stream. Like, I think you guys were off a little bit, both Atima and you.
Was there one?
About the original intent of the 14th Amendment. I don't know why anybody would think that back in fucking 1868, you would think that an amendment that just had to do with granting rights to slaves meant that anybody that crosses the border illegally and pops out a baby gets to be a citizen. Like, I don't see why you would think one would have to do with the other. It's not what it says. It's not what it was ever meant to say.
Real quick. I read exactly what it says, and it says exactly that. If you're born within the territorial boundaries of the United States of America, you are automatically
subject to their jurisdiction. Now, so if you want to add more to it with like contemporary writings, you get Senator Jacob Howard, who goes on and says this, of course, includes persons born in the United States, or does not include people born in the United States who are foreigners, aliens, or belong to families of ambassadors or foreign ministers accredited to the United States. Anyway, you go further, and that's the correct interpretation, even up to what... Well, first off, we also didn't have immigration laws back then, right? Every place was a shithole, and if you wanted to come here, buy property, live here for a while, sure, we'd call you a citizen.
Hey, what do you mean? Shit. Britain was currently running the world at that point. Everywhere else wasn't a shithole. France,
all right, well,
maybe.
America was still kind of a shithole. We're still working on it.
Well, and see, this is
anyway,
the problem.
It was actually
not at that time. It wasn't.
There were several rulings. One of which was in 1884. It said the phrase "subject to its jurisdictions" was interpreted to exclude children of consuls, ministers, and citizens of foreign states born within the United States. So right there in 1884, you had a Supreme Court decision in L. Wilkins that said for sure it did not include foreign nationals. And then what we do now is in 1898, there was a special case of Wong Kim Ark. So that one, what they did is like he had parents that were resident aliens that moved back to their own country. And they decided to focus on the word domicile, right? So because he lived in, always legally lived in the United States, he could be considered a citizen because he was born here, and there was legal domicile. But how can somebody? So the idea is that an illegal alien can't have legal domicile within the United States. Like they're whatever they're doing, it's illegal.
Well, and here's the thing. This is the problem with the 14th, and specifically with the wording of it, especially as interpreted by modern day standards, specifically through the Supreme Court. But what the argument really revolves around is what is implicit versus what is explicit, versus in other words, what is implied versus what is interpreted. The Supreme Court can interpret it in one way or another, but that can be overturned very easily. But it's not explicitly stated in the 14th that just because you had a child within United States boundaries, that makes you a fucking citizen. It's not stated anywhere in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution that just because you're born on this nation's soil, you're immediately a U.S. citizen, especially if you are someone who is a foreign national, which is also something explicitly stated in the Constitution. And this is explicitly stated that if you are a foreign national and you have the interest of another nation above that of the United States, you're not, that's technically considered treason. but that might be a bit of an extreme interpretation. But that is explicitly stated. It's just not enforced.
No,
Well, see,
Doku,
and some of the things.
A situation. No, Doku. Hang on a second. I was going to say, it was like, no, there is an example of this where, there was an American politician who was, his wife was over here. She was giving birth. They obviously wanted, American nationality, and so the actual hotel room had to be declared as a sovereign territory for a temporary period while she was in labor. And, these weird things have been done in the past.
Yeah.
Well, and that's,
because otherwise it wouldn't have been, otherwise that person could have claimed that they were British, a British citizen.
Well, and again, it's a very important distinction to make because it's not explicitly stated in the 14th Amendment. If it were to be explicit, by definition, it leaves no room for confusion or doubt. It is explicitly stated. The 14th Amendment does not explicitly state that just because you're born on U.S. soil, you're immediately a U.S. citizen. And if you're here illegally, that is open to interpretation. The only thing that anyone has to go on when it comes to saying, well, if you're born on U.S. soil, you're a U.S. citizen, is due to a Supreme Court ruling that is around, 80 years old now?
Yeah, it goes back even further, but part of it was actual laws passed by Congress.
Yes.
And guess what? The early 70s.
But again, that's interpretation. It's not explicitly stated in the Constitution. I'm sorry, you don't have a constitutional right.
In the chat,
it's a difference between de jure.
Right. But you can also look at the original way you would interpret things like that, right? Is you would go back to the writings of the time and the people that ratified it and see what they had to say and make the best judgment based on that. So if you go back to when the 14th Amendment was written, it was pretty blatant that all it had to do with is ensuring citizenship for freed slaves, and basically nothing more.
Yeah,
that was.
But it's like, but you have de jure, sort of law. I mean, there are things which are done on that basis, but there are the basic principles, and that's what common law was founded upon, which is the intent. The intent of the law and the principles that are there. I mean, the principles don't necessarily change over 80 years, right?
Yeah. Well, I just read some contemporary writings of people.
Am I muted still?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to talk. The intent of the law should be written in the wording of said law. And MC in the chat says a convention of states would fix this. I still think that's a dangerous proposition.
I mean, I don't think making an executive order to overturn it is the best course of action. I think there's a better way to do it. But at the same time, if you look at the intended purpose of the 14th Amendment at the time it was written and the intended purpose, and the way you apply it now, considering the global economy, let's be honest, the global economy which we live in, I mean, you have fucking caravans banging down your fucking door, with pregnant women in them. The whole anchor baby situation, the diversity lottery, as they call it. I'm sorry, it doesn't necessarily apply to modern times. And I don't give a damn what liberals say, and I don't give a damn what conservatives say. The Constitution is a document that can be amended. It is evolving. It can be changed. But the wording from the 14th Amendment...
there's a method for changing it.
No, wait a motherfucking minute here.
Let me finish real quick.
Do you believe in a living constitution? Do you believe that you can interpret the same fucking English words differently in 2018 than in 1780?
That's exactly my point. The way it was worded... No, the way it was worded and the way it was written at the time, you can determine the interpretation because we have something called fucking history. You can determine what the intended purpose of it was. And I'm sorry, if you look at the purpose of the 14th Amendment, you can see that, it wasn't intended for someone to just, run over the border and then have an anchor baby. Yes, there are.
You're absolutely correct.
Exceptions.
And once again, contemporary writings about the amendment being passed usually has the answer to your question. And explicitly, contemporary writings say, yeah, this doesn't apply to like foreign nationals. So obviously, even though there wasn't such thing as illegal immigrants, it wouldn't apply to people that came here illegally. It's not even a stretch.
Which is this idea, the difference with common law, because common law is about the principle. You know, it's not about the specific. And that's why it's based on precedent.
That is exactly my point. It's about you have to look not necessarily just at the way that the law itself is worded, but you also have to look at the time period, the context, and what the implementation of the law is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is something you'll very rarely hear me say, but intention, implementation, and context is paramount, especially when it comes to talking about something when it comes to constitutional amendments. Not necessarily the Constitution itself, but specifically constitutional amendments, because that is up to SCOTUS.
Sometime around the 1930s, the SCOTUS decided it could rewrite the laws by taking the modern day interpretation of words and using it to apply to the literal wording of the Constitution without applying what you just said, which was context, implementation.
Hence why we're having this debate today, almost 100.
But you have no idea.
It shouldn't even be a debate. It shouldn't even be a debate.
You have no idea how funny that sounds to an English person listening to Americans about them, about language corruption. You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus.
Aluminium.
You're gonna are you gonna colorize something? Hey, are you gonna diarize something?
Hey, I got a Streamlabs. I have to fucking shout it out. Tiger Lily donated $2. Congrats on 200 episodes. Bottoms up. Thank you very much, Tiger Lily. Now go ahead and keep arguing.
Cheers, Tiger Lily. Everybody, take a drink.
British fuck. Aluminum. Hey. Say it. Aluminum. Say aluminum.
I'm gonna say aluminium. I'm gonna say it as it is, aluminium. Yeah, and by the way, you can search it on Google. It'll still come up, buddy.
Well, so I don't think anybody on the stream is pro birthright citizenship the way it's being interpreted today.
Well, they're not pro anchor baby.
Birthright citizenship
no aluminium.
Be for
no aluminium babies.
The children of those legally in the country.
Well, and this is kind of the point I think everybody's been trying to make, even though it's been misrepresented. No one's against immigration. Like, by all means, if you can increase our GDP, come in, pay taxes.
Legally.
Yeah, come in legally, pay taxes, increase our GDP, make us a more productive country.
And it's not always the right thing to do either, right? It's not like we should have a set amount every year. Like sometimes you got to open the floodgates, sometimes you got to close it.
Yeah, you gotta change based upon circumstances. But let's be honest, I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Is anybody really against having a more productive nation? I don't think there's anyone out there that will actually argue like, no, I don't want immigration because it reasons. But no, if you come in legally and you're bringing a skill set that we actually need that's in short supply and in high demand.
And you want to be a fucking American.
No,
yeah, exactly. Don't burn the fucking American flag if you're trying to come into the country.
Even if we don't have the best skill set, I'm okay with legal immigration. Somebody that works for it. Illegal immigration is fucking bullshit. You're an illegal alien and get the fuck out.
Yeah, you're not climbing a damn fence. You're actually respecting our laws. You're not breaking them. And again, if you're going to increase our GDP, well, dear Barack Obama, about that magic wand. I wonder. Perhaps legal immigration that's well vetted and you're bringing in people that actually add to our GDP and help us produce and be a more productive nation. And, oh, by the way, if you want to fund all of your fucking socialistic programs that you fucking love, maybe these individuals that are actually documented and are paying taxes would go to actually fund those programs you love so much. Dude, gee, is that such a difficult concept to grasp? Apparently it is.
Yeah, but I mean, that was never the intention, right? I mean, that was clearly never the intention.
They're doing it for
purely to pad voting block, right? Yeah, it's voting blocks is all
they're doing it to artificially gerrymander certain. They're doing it to artificially gerrymander certain voting blocks without actually calling it gerrymandering, because they're displacing the actual demographic of the county or the state that all of these quote-unquote undocumented immigrants are actually moving into.
Okay, the nonsense that Donald Trump supposedly, it's his
fault.
Why
is anyone surprised about
an anti-Semitic prick decided to shoot a fucking synagogue up. It's also his fault because some dickhead.
That guy was a fucking nut. That guy was a fucking nutcase. He was also a socialist. That guy was a socialist. He was also a never Trumper and
a literal Nazi.
Yeah, he was exactly. He was a literal Nazi, which is why I'm laughing at the fucking mainstream media right now. Because if you want to find an actual fucking Nazi, this dude was a national socialist who thought Trump wasn't nationalist enough. You couldn't be more of a Nazi unless you fucking put on some jack boots, started fucking goose stomping, put an armband around yourself or around your fucking right arm, and then started doing the Roman salute down the fucking street. There's your fucking Nazi. By the way, he wasn't a Trump supporter.
He was a never. He said Trump was a Jew.
Yeah, well.
Either way, the whole thing's fucking ridiculous. The fact that they're just completely ignoring the fact that this dude was a literal Nazi, but also an
anyone even trying to.
I mean, come on, Trump is so bolsterous. If he was anti-Semitic whatsoever, we would hear him like disavowing his daughter, and then CNN. There's such pundits say things about Trump and his daughter that I don't even want to mention because that makes me fucking sick.
Well, I've seen some really nasty comments about.
Look, I mean, at the end of the day,
Ivanka and Melania, and the media fucking absolutely hates them.
No, when Donald Trump said that the fake news is the enemy of the people, he wasn't lying.
Well, no, Orange Man bad. Like Sinrise said in the chat. Orange Man bad.
1010010111101.
I don't speak binary. But anyway, we can move on from the 14th if you guys want to just talk about some random shit. This is supposed to be just a hangout, really, because 200 episodes. I'm kind of surprised I even hit that mark. So
we can talk. We can talk about how when the Republican that RNC office got shot up, it was an act of vandalism, not terrorism.
Yeah, and the baseball game got shot up, but of course, Tony.
That was a lone actor.
Yeah. So what?
Everybody.
It was
a lone actor.
Real quick, since Alfred brought up the baseball game, it's funny how that dropped out of the news cycle after 48 hours. They're going to be talking about this shit at CNN and the fucking dildo bombs for a fucking month and a half.
Yeah. Charlottesville one more time.
And by the way, everybody, happy All Hallows Eve. Cheers.
Yes. And if you're not Irish, you're not allowed to celebrate Halloween. It's cultural appropriation.
Where are we appropriating it from? The Celts? I mean,
yes.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, Halloween is an Irish holiday.
It's a pagan.
So kiss my ass. I can do what I want.
Well, you're gonna need part celebration.
So, yeah. But either way, I don't give a fuck. Whatever the fuck I want.
Sif, I thought you were Mexican. Don't you have the Day of the Dead already and Cinco de Mayo?
I told you before, motherfucker, I am not fucking Mexican. I am Hispanic.
I'm still waiting on my soft talk.
Hey, you son of a bitch.
Hurry up. I want my soft taco.
I mean, if you really wanted to fuck with him, you wouldn't be asking for a soft taco, and you'd be asking for a fucking chimichanga and make him put a fucking Deadpool stamp on it while you're at it.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, that was fucking funny.
I do my best.
As the official, unofficial representative of Ireland, enjoy Halloween, everybody. We allow you to appropriate our culture.
Yeah, well, you know, I celebrate St. Paddy's Day, and I don't think you guys even celebrate it in Ireland.
Oh, we do. But it's usually just the Tuesday, because we're always drunk.
Yeah, dude, I take St. Patrick's Day off every year. That's the amateur hour, 24/7.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Straight Sith in the chat. Sinrise says Mexican, Hispanic, ... What's the difference?
Fuck you.
The Mexicans are descended from the Spanish, and the Hispanics are descended from the Portuguese.
Hey, uno cerveza, por favor.
You want a beer?
Supreme Cuadro.
Well, but you only want one bear. Why not 10?
I don't know 10 in Spanish.
She is much better with Spanish than I am. I guarantee that.
So I order one beer at a time. I mean, it's just easier that way.
How is that easier?
I can say uno.
Then he doesn't have to share with anybody.
Uno más por cerveza, por favor.
¿Cómo estás? Okay, I'm fine. We're pressing one for English right now. We're back to English. Damn.
No hablo inglés. Lo siento.
You don't want to press 1 in the UK for English, because you'll probably get somewhere in Scotland. And good luck trying to understand those bastards.
What else is in the fucking news cycle?
Oh, well, in Northern Ireland at the weekend, there was a group of KKK members photographed outside a Muslim prayer house.
Wait a minute. You guys have the Klan in Ireland? Why? Like, what the fuck?
I was just about to ask that. Like, wait a second. They're Irish KKK? That's a thing?
Not that I've ever heard of before.
Do the people that they're calling KK members know that they're KKK members? Because that's a big problem we have here in the States.
Well, they were wearing the full white bed sheets with the KKK logo on them.
Are you sure it wasn't just an elaborate Halloween costume and it was just a happy coincidence that it kind of looked like the KKK symbol?
Was it just a spooky meme?
It was kind of probably a bunch of drunken assholes out in a stag do who bought them.
Did they have wiki torches?
They didn't know.
With a wiki torch.
They had a large white cross with them, and it wasn't on fire.
Holy shit! No. You can. It's not only that you can't say fucking aluminum, but you can't say tiki. They're tiki torches. There's a T at the beginning, Cabby. God damn it!
I said tiki. I said tiki twice.
You said wiki twice, you cunt.
They were cheeky torches. So of course,
well, they'd be Irish ones, wouldn't they? Mickey, if they were Mickeys, they'd be Irish.
Mickey torches. That's racist, you English bastard.
That's it. That'd just be a proper torch. That'd be like we're going up against fucking, Frankenstein.
Yeah, so there's not
that's a full-on horde
for these drunken idiots.
You notice they keep bringing up fucking goddamn Charlottesville like it was something special.
Well, they bring up Charlottesville because one, they want to demonize the Confederate statues and they want them removed. And they're getting pushback from the local areas, especially Richmond, Virginia. I don't know where the Confederacy fucking had its capital. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Rip down the Confederate White House next, you cunt? But also, somebody died. They got hit by a car, and they get to throw that out every time something happens. They get to keep fucking hitting us with it.
By a car because an Antifa asshole chased a dude into his fucking car, and he took off and ran into somebody like an idiot.
No. Just
So
the
you have a whole bunch of people that you think are fucking crazy and unhinged, and then you show up to protest to scare the people that you think are crazy and unhinged, and then one of the people turns out to be crazy and unhinged, actually gets scared and kills somebody.
Yes, but the thing is, the car didn't actually hit her. It hit the car she was jumping on, trying to smash up.
Oh.
That tends to get left out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't targeting anybody. He was just like, I'm going to drive full throttle because I don't know what the fuck's going on. And he was also really nuts.
Yeah,
let's face it. He had to admit to the judge.
Yeah, but
with the psychologist.
At the end of the day, the bitch is dead. The bitch should be dead.
Oh, she's dead. She's not coming back.
But one bitch died. Seriously? And they keep bringing back Charlottesville as if it's something special.
I'm waiting for a bike lock to strike a fatal blow and see how long they talk about that one.
Well, no. How about somebody just Googles right now how many people died in Chicago last weekend? Let's take a look at that.
Boring, man.
Oh, yes, but they want pretty white girls.
Nothing new.
The left doesn't want to talk about them because they want pretty white girls.
We didn't bring a white.
But a few of them were. A lot of white hoes hanging out with the,
No, I don't know, Cabby.
No, tell us. Yeah. Explain it in intimate detail.
Wait, I can only work on what I'm being told by your American media. So if you don't know, there's something wrong with you. Your media.
I just want to know what type of people you're talking about here.
The bitches seem to like a little bit of, shall we say, they like to go off color,
Oh, shit, dude.
Wow.
No, that's just white girls always find themselves a little black men.
I'm sorry, Cabby. I led you down that hole. My bad, dude.
Oh, God damn it.
Come on, man.
This is what I do. God damn it.
Would you expect me to do anything less? Especially on the 200.
Oh, no. We all know you like the Black Hawk, Cabby. God damn it.
Oh, that's usually me.
Hey, I'm just calling it.
Streams into the gutter.
I'm calling it as I see it. I'm just questioning because I'm just a dumb Englishman. I'm trying to understand your culture. That's what it is.
They're American. They don't have a culture.
I'm just inquisitive.
Hey, now.
That's all it is.
There used to be like freedom and guns, but
no, that was
tacos
racist.
and buns.
That was racist. Americans don't have a culture. You racist.
Was it?
bastard.
Oh, okay. You see, now I know.
Yeah, but see, I'm white, so therefore I'm racist.
I didn't know. Now I know. Okay, so it's a learning curve.
We have a culture, and half of that culture is sticking our foot up the Englishman's ass.
Half of the culture is making us chimichangas. Now get to it, Seth.
Because of all
exactly. Yeah.
No, the English like having things stuck up their ass.
Yeah,
It's fucked up.
So we'll come back and we'll stick a burrito up your ass. How about that?
Fuck you.
Oh God, this has circled the drain quickly. Son of a bitch.
Hope somebody brought a step ladder with them. We're going to need it to get up to the gutter. Never mind out of it.
Actually, no, we're going to do that. No, let's go the full hog. I mean, that's a steak and kidney pie up your ass. There we go. Do it properly.
Yeah, as long as it's still in the Fred Brandos tin.
Exactly.
Is that how you make haggis?
You can reuse it. You can reuse the thing afterwards. You can do more than one.
Oh.
My God. Yeah, there's a fish hook on it.
Terrible people. Every last one of us. We're just bad people.
The views expressed by the panel of the Redeye stream are not necessarily the views of Mad Dog Productions.
No, they are. No. He told us earlier that they were. He agreed with everything that we. This is actually an agreed program.
Yeah, so, you asked me to come on to see if I would be.
Yeah, this is scripted. He can't get away with this.
Yeah, you emailed me the script.
There's no plausible deniability on this one, mate.
I'm not talking
balls deep on this one.
I'm not fucking talking this.
You were balls deep, mate. There's no getting out. Now you committed. AIDS and all.
Cabbage is clamped onto you now.
Yeah, well, you know you like it, big boy. God damn it! I'm sorry, I had to.
Wow.
What do you mean? I'm clamped onto you, mate. Yeah, I'm the giver. You're the taker.
Cabbage doesn't like it, big boy. Cabbage likes big boys.
No, I'm not a bear fan. No. I don't want the bears, but I don't want no traps either.
Okay.
Oh, you want your man to look like men? Okay then.
I do, but I don't want to fuck them either. I don't like heterosexuals.
Oh god, metrosexuals are just gay men who can't get laid.
Is it? I never understood them. I always thought they were odd creatures.
It's just gay men who can't get laid. That's it.
How was that?
Well, MC in the chat says we're just discussing Cabbage's fantasy, so we better move on.
That's right.
Yeah, we do not want to go
down. It always ends up being Cabbage's family.
Why are you so afraid? Come on, delve in. Honestly, it's not that scary. The water's it's quite warm. It's moist.
Probably because you peed in it.
It's moist in here. You'll be happy.
It's
humid and moist.
Oh, I did say open mic, didn't I?
You did. You have no excuses, man.
I mean, I can start being curious.
This is your own suicide. You made this happen. You got no one to blame but yourself.
Yes. I think I might go get some pecan resist ice cream now after this.
I actually have to go get ready for my own stream. Madaj, congrats on 200. I just wanted to come in and give my 2 cents about the 14th Amendment. Thanks for letting me on. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, take it easy.
Take care of yourself.
All right. I don't know. Let me Google fucking some news up and see if we got some more topics. Unless you guys want to keep going.
Article 13 about the internet over in Europe, the UN thing.
Oh yeah, Article 11, Article 13. Yeah.
Ooh,
Big
yes.
issues. Yeah. The link tax is coming.
They passed?
Yeah. Well, no, they've gone to the second. I don't think they've actually passed as law, but they've gone through the second phase. I think there's another one. You know where the fucking bureaucrats
Article 13 could basically end up making YouTube into a pay-to-watch.
Yeah, it's gotten that bad that even
which is what they want anyway.
About censorship.
Yeah.
A YouTuber complaining about censorship. Got fucked.
I'm not paying money to watch my favorite YouTubers. Sorry, Dodge. No offense, man. Like if I had more money, I would definitely donate to you.
Well, no. The thing is, though, that's gonna kill the news, the alternative news on YouTube, because if we have to pay for an article or a link, then we're not going to be able to afford that. And if we don't pay for it and we just talk about it without showing our sources, then we're not going to have any credibility. So they're killing alternative media.
Well, this is what I kept saying to everyone, Mad. When this first came out, everyone was arguing about Article 13, right? Article 13 was the thing that got the press. Article 11 was the most dangerous one because it means you can't use any references. It was the most fundamentally undermining element that could have been there. And yet everyone went on about Article 13. Even fucking Dave Cullen didn't understand. You know, it's kind of like, no, fuck off. I mean, 13 is bad, but 11 is worse.
Oh yeah.
You know?
You can't even. You won't even be allowed to do a movie review.
No. Hell, not only that, you won't even be able to put up the fact that, you know, you like, well, I mean, when you could go up and just say, I like this movie, but you wouldn't even be able to put a link to the IMDb to the movie that you say you like. You know what I mean? That's how stupid this fucking law can be. If it's interpreted in European
Not even that.
courts.
You might not even be allowed to mention, say, the movie's name. Because
Really?
even the title of the movies is copyrighted.
Oh, right. Well, see, this is how ludicrous it gets, and the Europeans will fucking milk it for all it's worth because they're bureaucrats.
Well,
so
yeah,
that's
but
what they do.
But the thing is, how is this going to affect me in the United States? I'm not under EU fucking jurisdiction.
What it means is your videos, your streams won't be allowed to be watched in Europe.
Yeah.
And does that include the UK? Because that's my second largest fucking viewership.
Well, technically, yes, it does still, but, you know.
Yeah. It depends if Europe accepts, or if Britain accepts the Article 13 and 11 post-Brexit, which they probably will.
But we can always revoke it. Well, no, because technically we're obliged to accept it now because we're currently still under EU obligation. So
yeah,
we actually, if they pass it, we have to adopt it because that's, you know, shit happens.
Yes.
But we can revoke it and we can throw it out. And
yeah,
I think if Britain comes out of the EU, the one thing we're going to need to do is really work on the. I mean, we have a great deal of, you know, internet and, you know, the virtual space. You know, there's a lot of technologies that we're working on, especially with things like Bitcoin and stuff. I mean, the Isle of Man and, you know, everything else. We got loads of shit that we're working on with technology. So I think the chances are we'd probably drop those pretty quick. Hopefully. But then...
see, it would have to go through Parliament to get rid of it.
Well...
And you know, none of them even want to leave.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know we're fighting a rearguard action, but I think, I know, maybe it's going to take a little bit more of, you know, civil uprising. Maybe we need another, you know, like Tottenham riots or, you know, the equivalent of what we had with the poll tax. If that's what it's going to take, then... So, you know, they brought it on themselves.
Here's a question. Okay, so the EU isn't necessarily a perpetual union. Obviously, you're able to leave. What about the other member states? What about Poland? What about Romania? Let's bring up Germany. What if Germany doesn't want Article fucking 11 or 13? Are they able to opt out of it?
No, not while they're members of the
EU. No, that's the whole point, because you don't get to vote for them. No, you don't get to vote for these things, mate. The European Union is not democratic by any stretch of the imagination.
What most people don't understand is the European Parliament is an advisory board. They can only advise what gets put into law. They can't actually write anything into law. European Commission are the only ones who can actually make laws. And no one has ever voted for any member of the European Commission. They're all appointed. So you have 12 unelected officials running Europe, make all the decisions. And if you can't vote them in, you can't vote them out.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, it is. And this is what so many people are fighting to stay in.
Well, no, it really seems like a attempt to censor alternative media or alternative political voices, you know?
It is. That's what it's all about. They've just found a loophole to get round it without saying, no, we just want to shut these up.
Well, yeah, no. Joshua in the chat says, "Viva la revolution." I don't know. I think the EU is going to break apart. What say you guys?
Yeah.
Fuck the EU.
See, even Ireland are now starting to talk about leaving. It's becoming much more. There's a lot more people talking about it in Ireland than were, and that is purely because of Article 11 and Article 13.
That's interesting because the Irish, Southern Ireland took a gigantic swing towards the left, especially with their abortion vote for one.
Yes.
So it's really interesting that now they're thinking about leaving. That's odd.
Yeah, it's purely because they're starting to realize, holy shit, we're going to be fucked if this goes through.
But Silia, are you able to unmute? You haven't said a word. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just listening to y'all. Eventually you'll get a word in.
You just did.
Yep.
Several.
Well, no, I was going to say, and Cabby left, so people could talk now. No, I'm kidding.
Isn't that a miracle?
Wait. So I actually have permission to talk now? What?
No, I'm kidding.
Hey,
you still don't have permission. But there's when there's one with permission.
Well, I'm not listening.
It's open mic. Permission is granted by entry.
That's true. That's true. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
I just know how when certain people are in chat, like there's no point. So I just wait.
By certain people, you mean cabbage.
I say no names, Mad. I say no names.
Uh-oh. Speak of the devil. No, I'm kidding. we were only talking a little bit of shit about you, Cabby. You know, the normal shit talk.
I always expect it. I have absolutely no doubt. I will go back and you will all be chastised accordingly.
I didn't say nothing.
Yeah. Whatever.
I actually didn't. Mad did. It was all Mad. He did it.
Yeah, well, you know, Mad's already my bitch.
You hear that, Mad?
It's aluminum, you cunt.
Aluminium.
Aluminium babies. Aluminium anchor babies.
They float. Oh, God.
But, yeah, go ahead.
So you're telling me that you're already someone else's bitch? I mean, that's not going to work, Mad.
No, I mean, I'm not cabbage this bitch. Fuck off. That limey little cunt. Fuck.
Hey, memes.
Oh,
what's going on?
I've been waiting for you, you fucking son of a bitch.
You've missed me? What a guy.
Oh, yeah, I've missed you. I missed you with the drone.
Wow.
You don't have access to MC's drone network.
Oh, memes. Oh, my God. Now he's just going to tell us everything that he likes. Come on, tell us.
I like chicken.
No, I actually just had a meatball sub, dude. I'm pretty
satiated. Yeah. Come on, tell us a few of your favorite things. Fucking.
And if one of them is the Boston Red Sox,
favorite
I will fucking kill you.
Oh, I like the Red Sox.
Cabbage.
Julie Andrews.
If Cabbage is going to start singing, I'm going to kill myself.
No. I well, be careful. You don't want to hear a cabbage sing. It's like beyond the depths of human comprehension. But I heard some discussion. It seems like some folks that are kind of hard on the U.S. Constitution that believe it's a rock seem to, I don't know, depending on the topic, seems to be a living document. MD.
I do not believe that the Constitution is a living document. I believe the Constitution needs to be interpreted word by word, and words have meaning, sir. And I do not believe it is a living document. I am on the side of Justice Scalia, rest in peace. But yeah, I'm with him. I'm a pure Constitution.
That's what I heard. Yeah, no, I heard you arguing from that frame point. It just seems that there were some other folks and actually, to be fair, it's a little unfair because they're not here right now. But I heard things, and I'm like, the way it's being described, well, it was the time at the time and the thing, and and it's not a living document, asterisk. Kind of like Barry Bonds. Which, to be fair, Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa technically should have the same thing if you're going to go down that route.
Oh, there's 2 cabbages.
Oh God, they're multiplying!
Just said that.
Is it?
God, no.
Is it just one enough?
No, this is the end of the world. This is how the great apocalypse starts. Okay, we're down to 1.
Maybe one's a cabbage and the other's just a Brussels sprout.
We are multiplying. We are the Triffids. We are coming for your daughters.
Oh my, I'm getting shout-outs in the chat box, apparently.
Well, you're an adorable little owl.
Oh, aren't you precious?
Don't give her any more fuel to her big head. She don't need no more.
Okay, creepy.
I need more than you, Celia.
Oh my God! Oh, there's more and more folk. This is a very diverse stream.
Yes, because diversity is our strength.
Oh, it's a strength.
You're going to post a link again?
Oh, here, I'll spam it.
This is what happens when you open your borders.
What? There are borders on the internet?
Seriously?
Oh, that's right. You guys are talking about Article 11 and 13.
Yeah, duh.
Oh, well, actually, couldn't you say you're limiting folks the free flow of ideas? When isn't that discrimination?
Well, yeah, but you have to have an idea in order to have it to flow. You have never had an idea in your fucking days.
Well, I mean, that might be an argument from B.F. Skinner or something, because, I mean, everything does affect everyone.
Okay. Memes, give us an idea, not just something you'd like.
What?
Give us an original thought, please.
Oh, gamer theory.
Come on. Welcome. Give it a shot. An original thought. Come on. No,
Cabbage wants to know what it's like.
That's gamer theory. How can you claim that as your own, you retard?
Because I'm putting a label on it, even though I tend to really hate labels.
Yeah, real quick memes. How much did you pay the fucking umpire in that fucking game 5? I mean, really.
Oh, you mean the one game that
yeah.
I didn't that I actually didn't watch him.
I would like to see your checkbook, because I bet you it was a pretty penny you fucking sent them. Son of a
Put away. Mad.
Wow.
Are you paying attention
Hey, you know what? Hey, I didn't bring it up, but like I said, man, we didn't pull out the broom. You guys weren't swept, so power to the Dodgers. Come back in 56 years.
Oh, okay. Fuck off and die. And the chat's talking about boobies, so I'm in a slightly better mood. But fuck off, memes.
Actually, they're in particular talking about mine. Kind of uncomfortable here.
No, just because she's an owl doesn't mean you draw the mimetic to Hooters, even though they have great wings.
Nice. Okay, memes. You recovered a little bit.
Spit out my drink there.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but you just have to watch out for the claws.
She's a spitzer. She doesn't swallow. No good.
Damn it! I was gonna make that joke, Cabby. Fuck off. That was my joke.
No, you dissected owl pellets before. You know they eat mice whole.
Yeah, but even owls won't touch cabbage.
Exactly. Quite nasty stuff, that.
Exactly.
Well, that was the thing. No, I just wanted to kind of just bring up the point. It's like a lot of folks, and I mean, this is kind of like a question of like principles, and a lot of folks often say in this sphere of the internet that they support certain principles and everything, and they'll often argue a number of points. What's going on, my man? But they'll argue points, and then when it becomes something that maybe they're not the biggest fans of, they kind of start like going to yoga a little bit, stretching out, and I just find it interesting.
What are you even talking about?
Certain folks that believe the Constitution is a rock. It seems.
No, just look. Yeah, look. You're just babbling, right? Shut up.
Yeah. No. How exactly me being a strict constitutionalist and believing that I don't know language has meaning, make me a yoga instructor all of a sudden? What the fuck are you talking about?
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Goku and Excel. I was trying to get around actually naming them. My apologies for naming.
No, you're a mental case. No, you're just a mental case. All right.
No, he just likes looking at girls wearing yoga pants.
Well, who doesn't like yoga
pants? Well, yoga pants make the ass look pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, but come on. I mean, yeah, but yoga pants look good on somebody who's done yoga, not on somebody who needs yoga.
Not on somebody
or on myself.
Your point.
Oh boy.
Are you prejudiced against the fatties, Cabby? Is that what's going on here?
I am
Yes.
fat prejudiced. Yes.
He is very.
I don't like the jiggly. I don't like the jigglies.
Hey, no, that was.
I'm not a trickly
fan. That regardless. But MD, are you reading into what Cabbage's words? Are you interpreting them a certain way?
Oh, fuck off, memes.
No, but like seriously, the jigglies are nice, but it depends on what.
As long as it's the
like
boobies.
if it's big flabby arms, then no.
So basically, Cabbage, you don't like big boobs?
No, he likes traps.
Those jiggle. I mean,
what?
Well, hey, it must be jelly because jam don't shake.
I like the firm boobies. I like the ones which are not going to end up down.
So you like men?
And I don't like anybody with a fucking Adam's apple.
He likes men boobies.
You don't like people called Adam?
I've never met a woman with firm boobies. I'm sorry. That's new.
Well, I mean it.
I want to see. I want to see a fucking genetic test to make sure that it isn't actually what it claims to be.
You fucking racist. You're trying to make sure
I
that's
think that's sexist more.
Technically, it's actually it's neither.
It is sexist. Fuck it.
Racist.
Is that sexist?
No,
I am
cabbage.
And
Cabbage.
you can call me all you want.
It's discriminatory.
It's bigoted.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if you don't agree with that, then you're...
Okay, I assume he was going to call us something that maybe Hillary Clinton said about a bunch of folks early in the election. But the funny thing is, Cabbage's point actually is quite a good one, because basically to actually have the human genome sequenced right now, it's gone from hundreds of thousands of dollars down to the price of an iPhone. You're talking like $600 currently at current levels. For if you want to go out there and basically have all the genetic markers that we know of actually mapped and everything, it's $600 right now. Which actually there was a gentleman who said, when I asked him, he was famous geneticist. No, he said the top.
I'm just going for XY. That's all it is. All right.
Well, I mean, if you're going to collect a sample and stuff, we might as well actually get the data anyway, so we can make medicine and other shit better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it costs so much more. I get that.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, tell me what. Well, okay, tell me memes. Tell me what we fucking learned from gay genomes. Is there such a thing as a gay genome? Is there a gay gene?
I have no idea. All I know is JF was doing a stream about something particularly earlier.
You are so full of shit.
I can see it already. Cabby's hitting on a girl at the bar. He goes, hey babe, first off, I want to buy you a drink, but here, send this off to 23andMe.
I'll see you in 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah. Yes. No, I know. I was trying to kind of steelman Cabbage in a way, saying that there's a famous gentleman who worked on the Human Genome Project that says a similar thing, which was the first thing to help save the world when I asked him at the top two things. The second thing was dealing with climate change.
Yeah, right. And you also went up to Jordan Peterson and said, "Oh, you're a great wizard. You're a fucking."
No, I said he was a pretty good wizard.
Well, whatever the fuck it was retarded.
Oh, there have been great wizards out there. I mean, they've done great things, positive and
that's right. Yeah, Gandalf for one, right? Gandalf had a good run of it.
How did we go from talking about repealing the 14th Amendment to
reach that prestige class?
Because memes has a
Cabbage here, so it turns out to be a shitpost.
Also,
I
why
am
do you
not.
guys?
Hey,
Why
I do not do such things. I am not a troll.
Cabbage is simply offended because many of the things I've said have actually started to happen, which actually terrifies me as well in many ways.
Well, MC in the chat is
nothing you ever said has come to fucking reality.
Damn it, Cabby, real quick. This actually pertains to you. MC in the chat says, "Why is Cabby the only one that's drunk on the stream?" So,
yes, exactly. Yes, everybody else, step up your game. By the way, I'm not actually pissed. I'm just, I am really tired, and but I did have a couple of joints.
Well, you do sound perpetually drunk, regardless of what you intake.
Yes, well, exactly.
His roots are in a wine cellar.
I'm consistent.
And that makes a difference.
God
damn it.
So, so you see now, excuse me, we're talking about discrimination and shit, right? And now all of a sudden everyone's attacking me because of my pronunciation or the way in which I present myself.
It's
you bunch of fucking hypocrites.
Learn how
at least have some continuity. At least have some continuity, you aluminium anchor babies.
Yes, we all have a continuity. We're all discriminating.
Has actually been pretty mean tonight.
Here we are. It's the Redeye stream.
Hey, you're all cunts.
No, they're trying to gang up on you like a raid boss right now. Because even Tema was just kind of jumping on you. I'm like, wow, that was.
Cabbage, I've actually tried to stick up for you. I said it was in your blood.
What, the alcohol?
Yes.
No, the AIDS.
His blood is the alcohol. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but the princess, she smelled like Ebola.
We're all going to hell.
Do you know the way?
She know the way. She know the way. Everyone know the way.
Let me show you the sign of my people.
Smell the princess.
The way
She know
to
the
the
way.
cemetery of that meme.
I love that meme. I'm sorry. I think Knuckles should have gone a lot further. I mean, the
You like it 'cause
NPC
you-
one, right? The NPC one is brilliant, and it is absolutely fucking spot on. But
I
the
don't
Knuckles
think
one
I've
should have
seen
gone
it.
much further.
I haven't seen
really
the
should.
NPC. I keep hearing about the NPC meme, but I don't think I've ever actually seen it like in any meme compilation on YouTube. Is it on?
It's not really a
Hey,
compilation.
Cabbage,
Yo.
why don't you tell Loch Ness here about how certain Twitter accounts got deleted because they posted it?
Oh, it was over 1,500.
Oh yeah, there was 1,500. Yeah, there were
why it's so
1,500. 1,500 Twitter feeds got. Well, it was different people that set up accounts using an NPC
What kind of
avatar.
sick person would do this? What kind of sick?
Well,
what
I
kind of
know,
sick
crazy,
person
right?
would
But they were all
tweet
customized. I
15,000?
mean, that's the thing. Yeah, but the thing was, all right, each one of these different accounts, I mean, they actually did have a different avatar. So there was one that was a punk. There was one that was, I mean, these people have really gone to the effort.
But what is the NPC meme?
And yeah, but they went through. I mean, yeah, but the point is, it's like a purge, right? Because they used identifiers even with your avatar. I mean, you think about how they're actually, I mean, we're looking at purging. Christ Almighty, how else are they going to do it? Just because you happen to use a word that's not appropriate today? It's today the day that you're not allowed to use the word squirrel, and so if you happen to mention it, you get fucking banned off Twitter.
Well, no. I think one of the big things is they were saying they were secondary accounts, which may or may not be against the terms of service. I haven't really read all of Twitter's terms of service. But
there's going to be some fucking small
well,
thing.
you could argue selective enforcement, most definitely. But to answer,
I'll just look it up.
No. Well, yeah, you should look it up to see the actual visual. But essentially, what it is you're familiar with what an NPC or non-player character is within a game. It's something basically the person in Pokemon that's just the townie over there and everything. Well, exactly. They have a scripted number of responses that they will give to a given situation. So what it is you have somebody that basically somebody will say something. Most often now is something like "Orange Man Bad," referring to President Trump. They say that, and then all of a sudden someone brings up a point that may not have a standard scripted response, and they'd actually need to delve into discussion. And then their face changes from just kind of like blank to they start to get a little angry because it's like, does not compute. Error 404.
I see now. But why would they delete so many Twitter accounts of people posting those types of memes?
Oh, they were.
It sounds hilarious.
Well, it was a meme of destruction.
Yeah, it was just basically taking the piss out of the left-wing idiots.
It's a meme of us. It's basically a meme of us pulling back the curtain on how all politicians and corporate businessmen operate in a public setting, and making fun of it. So of course they're all going to delete the meme because they don't want us to see how it's
true.
Well, the way I think
it.
what they used was it was dehumanizing. I believe those were the words used by most of the folks that were reporting said accounts.
And
they're the ones dehumanizing themselves by basically putting on a robotic persona whenever they answer questions.
Wait a second. So calling somebody a robot is dehumanizing?
Exactly.
If you get Optimus in here.
Don't tell Optimus Price. He'll be like, I like being a robot.
Well, I like robots, but let's say if something was more of a script-based, let's call it a bot. If you were to call someone a bot, could that be considered dehumanizing?
No, because the bots are on the other side.
Oh, that doesn't seem fair.
You said anything about fair?
What if they are?
Well, why is that? No. I'm curious. Like, why isn't that happening? If you can ban somebody for basically referring to somebody, like if you go out there and you to say somebody is an NPC that you disagree with, and they could at least get you like a temp ban or something for using dehumanizing language. If someone were to call you a Russian bot, if one were to report and use the same language saying that it's dehumanizing, I mean, they'd have to do that, right?
If it was equal representation, yes. But
is it? No. Well, the reason I bring this up, because I've brought this up before, I don't know if it was here. No, but the thing is, what I tend to see, just as my general, just layman observation, is a lot of the folks that tend to be of maybe a more libertarian or conservative nature, they often don't report things. Whereas, at least on the internet, whereas many folks, and this actually came up to my mind when I was watching a Dr. Winters video the other day, and she said, yeah, if I see someone violating the Twitter terms of services, like, you bet I'm going to report them. And she's just very open and honest about it. So is it kind of like a difference in like a personality or like
no, you are just such a fucking dick. You know it's not anything to do with
Cabbage, I'm very interested now because now you're making me think that anytime you say that, I keep on seeing crazier and crazier stuff coming up. I'm like, oh, I kind of referred to that. This scares me.
You know, speaking of which, that kind of reminds me of something these guys on, I don't know if anyone's made an NPC meme about them. Someone probably should. But once, back a long time ago when there was that controversy on YouTube where YouTube was automatically unsubscribing people from channels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I had that repeatedly.
On the official YouTube blog, they had these two people make a video talking about it.
And that was embarrassing, man. Oh my god.
They're basically like, we take this feedback so seriously. YouTube doesn't unsubscribe you from channels.
Oh yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
By the way, someone should make an NPC meme about it. I thought I brought it up because like this one YouTuber, Ross Scott, he said something along the lines of, I can't tell if these guys are what do you say again? I can't tell if these guys are just pod people and will just sell anything that's being relayed to them, or if they've actually drank the Kool-Aid and believe what they're saying.
Well, either way they're doing it makes no difference. Either way they did it.
Yeah.
So whatever their justification was or anything, they still went and did the fucking stupid thing. Who gives a shit about the people who did it? It's the motivation behind why the people wanted some poor cunts to make an ass of themselves like that.
Well, no, and to go back to what Memes was saying about how the left is the ones that will flag everybody for the smallest infraction of the terms of service. Don't you think the providers, i.e., Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, know that? Like, don't they know that libertarians, like people like me, unless it's some sick fuck like Daddy05 fucking beating his kids on a fucking, on a fucking video, we're not going to do shit. You know what I mean?
Hey, come on, there's those pedo ones that are still knocking around. You got there's a bunch of weird shit that's still out there. I mean, look at Twitter. I mean,
hey guys, some Disney toys here, and today we're doing something crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's freaky. That one. Oh man, that was so weird when I saw that with Metica.
7-Up gummy bottle.
And it's like the stuff that Metica brings out, like with these fucking furry freaks and all the rest. I mean, it's all out there, and yet they seem to ban people who just have an opinion or whatever. They seem to be very focused on a particular brand of perspective.
Cabbage, I must point out, vegetables are currently outnumbered by furries on the stream.
Yeah, I couldn't
I am
give
not
a
a
shit.
furry.
The vegetables will
You're
always win
just
out.
a very handsome cat in a suit and a top hat.
Without the vegetables, there will be no animals. I don't give a toss what you are. Well, no, you are.
Scaly mobster.
Well, that's true. I am a scaly.
And you.
I just that anyone who wears a onesie is a furry.
What? So you're saying all wrestlers are furries?
Yes.
Are you saying littles are furries?
Yes.
You know that game Flag Football? They should have something similar but for wrestling, where two people just wrestle but they have like tails and you have to pull them out.
They have.
Well, those tails often can be used for other things as well, as I found out one Valentine's Day.
Butt plug tails.
I don't even want to know, memes. You keep that shit to yourself, buddy.
I shared that story.
To the butt plug tails.
I was wondering why my girlfriend was so uncomfortable at the time. Like, oh, she's not as limber as she normally is. She's walking kind of odd. Oh, that's not tied onto anything.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she was a trooper.
Oh.
She yanked the fucking tail out.
No, that'd be rude.
I'm gonna take this off. I'll be right back. I need to take off my Halloween costume I'm testing out. I don't want to sweat in this. I get to wear it tomorrow at school.
Wait, that's
to
a
walk
fursuit?
around like I am the thin white mobster Duke.
Yeah, you mean you're gonna go take your tail out?
Yeah, that's
damn it.
Well, it would be weird if the 17-year-old was wearing a butt plug tail on stream.
Why not?
Yeah, but
if I were, I don't think I'd be first.
See, this is where things end up. See, it's the lowest common denominators.
you have to admit, Ali, it wouldn't be the strangest thing that's ever happened on someone's stream.
Oh, I do admit to that. I've seen way weirder.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just go watch Sir Wolfie's streams. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, wolf shot. Well, hey, it's all right. We're a diverse stream. We're celebrating MD's 200th Redeye. So, I mean, it's been a while since we stole that from Greg Gutfeld. Have you not invited him on yet?
Yeah, he would tell me to fuck off or sue me, one or the other, and I don't want to be sued.
You simply tweet at him. He'll be like, "That's hilarious. Some dude was copying what we were doing," and he'd probably check it out. Like I said, Dennis Rodman acknowledged my DM.
So what you're saying is Dennis Rodman has seen the show.
There's only 2 degrees of separation between you and Kim Jong-un. Congratulations.
Oh, so I'm like Sargon and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's cool, because I like Kim Jong-un.
3 degrees of separation with Donald Trump, and 4 degrees of separation with you and Kanye West.
That's fair.
Well, you know, Kanye's a superhero now because he has a MAGA hat. So, you know, that's cool. Memes. I think there's like, what, a half a degree of separation between you and Richard Spencer?
Hey, do haircuts count?
Where this hat, it's like Superman's hat.
Well, I did have to apologize to the man.
Oh, whatever. That was hilarious. I know what you're referring to, and that was hilarious.
It was fake news. Had to call it out.
Now, it looked like there was a black chick hiding in his closet, dude. I'm telling you.
She was
buy
cleaning.
so much bullshit, man.
He denied it on air with sticks. I with no other corroborative evidence. You gotta stick with what a person says, right?
Richard Spencer, we're giving him the benefit of the
Trust
doubt.
but verify. There was no other verification.
Like seriously, that's like me fucking taking advice from fucking what David
Cabbage?
Duke or Cabbage. There you go. Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Cabbage has given good advice.
Excuse me. How dare you just diminish me in that
I
regard?
have a few smart things to
You
say,
know,
Nolan.
fuck you.
No,
That was extremely disrespectful.
Well, it's saying that you do have a few smart things to say?
Yeah, what Mad Dodge said.
Hmm.
But anyway, you know, he feels a little bit. He's girded his loins. No, that's fine. I'm just going to fuck you up tonight. Now that's fine. It's all right. You set the bar.
Well,
I
you
love
said
that.
he was your bitch.
Cabbage.
I think you need to put your
It's
bitch
all
in
right.
place.
Now I'm just going to have to. I'm going to have to slap you silly now. All right,
Cabbage has actually
you
been
know.
very tame tonight too, and like I saw
I
some
have.
pop shots,
I
and
know.
I'm like, oh, I mean, people
Yeah.
were actually able to talk and everything. Like it seemed like a pretty good stream.
And now Mad Dodge is coming out fucking feisty. So let's see what he's got. Let's see what those guns have got. Come on, buddy.
Hey, oh, Cabbage, don't get offended at what somebody says on the internet. You're a big boy.
I'm not getting a foul. Oh, for fuck's sake. You want to see some of that? Christ,
Wait,
I've
somebody heard
rage-quitted
something
more
on the
people in
internet and they
than
took
hot
it
dinners.
in a not nice way. That never happens.
Well, MC in the chat, MC in the chat brought up the fleshlight bump stocks. MC, we didn't want to cover that again.
Who would invent something like that? What would be the point?
Recoil.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, recoil.
Like you know that one meme of the guy. I guess he has like a pistol strapped to his belt or something, so whenever he thrusts forward, it fires. I feel like that would just basically be that.
Wait, what?
No, that was actually in Dawn of the Dead, Tarantino film.
Yes, this recoil.
It's a cod piece.
What are you talking
Flipped
about?
up, and it was a 6-gun.
Wait, so he like comes on to somebody, he's like, oh, and then it's like, is that a banana in your pants there? Nope, it's a Colt.
Yep. Pretty much.
How is this relevant to anything that was being talked about? What the
No
fuck is
idea.
wrong with you people?
Welcome to the Redeye, episode 200.
Well,
Yeah.
I think so earlier.
Yeah.
Well, it's no more
Continuity
ridiculous
doesn't exist on here.
than booby machine guns.
What? On cod pieces?
Hey, Austin Powers.
What, machine gun
Oh,
mounted
classic.
cod pieces?
Oh, he's talking about
I want some sharks with some frickin'. I mean, I heard him say sharks with lasers on their heads. I don't remember the machine guns on the cod pieces.
No, it was on the Femboss. Remember, Austin, he married one of them.
Oh, yeah, well,
and
you
then
gotta
in the
get the
next one, they
titties.
try to kill him.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yes.
But the 6-shooter cod piece was actually on Dawn of the Dead, not Austin Powers.
What,
Or
cod
the-
piece mounted
Well,
machine
from
gun?
Dusk to Dawn.
Well,
I
Dusk
do
to Dawn.
remember that.
Okay,
Dusk
real
Till
quick.
Dawn. I've seen that film, and I do not remember cod piece mounted machine guns.
Real quick, tomorrow's Halloween, right? So, what's your guys' favorite out of the Halloween series? Is it the remake? Is it the very first one? I mean,
No, it's the first one. It's
I
the
haven't
only
watched
one.
any of them, so
It's the only one. The first one is the only one. I mean, everything else was fucking. It just went down the shit. I mean, the second one was
when you say
okay,
you haven't seen any one of them,
but it went down the
you're really
shit
showing your
after that.
age.
Yeah, he's not allowed to
Yeah,
watch them
you
yet.
are.
They're teens.
I don't really
Yeah.
care about age restrictions.
Maybe.
If I cared, then I used to
Deny.
care about age restrictions. Hell, back when I was in 6th grade, I complained to other kids saying that who all somehow had like GTA 5 when they were in 6th grade. I was complaining to them, talking about it because I said it was too violent. And of course, a couple years later, I get into Half-Life.
Did you? You said, "Oh, well, yeah, you were actually one of the effeminate ones saying, oh, this is just too, this is too frightening. Oh my goodness! Oh my god! What are you doing?"
No, he brought up Half-Life. Remember when Half-Life first came out and it was killing everybody's fucking computer? Like,
Yeah,
it was crashing computers left and right.
Yeah, yeah, it had to be patched. Yeah, that Half-Life 2 is the bomb. I love Half-Life 2. I
got into Half-Life when my brother bought Portal 2, and I'm like, this is a pretty good game. That's a pretty cool lore, too. I wonder what all that lore is all about. And what's this Borealis thing? Little did I
never
know.
give a shit about the lore. I just played the games. I didn't get into all the bullshit about it.
It's
Like
fun.
Halo.
It's world building. I actually like the story of Halo.
I don't like Halo. Dude, the multiplayer, everybody's just hopping around. It's like Frogger. Fuck that game.
Oh yeah,
Unless
the
you count
multiplayer,
Minecraft.
but the missions are okay. At least it's got missions. I mean, it's mission based.
To be fair and support Aaron, I remember when one of my cousins put the original Grand Theft Auto onto Windows 95 via 11 3.5 by 5 floppies. He put it on, and I'm like, wait a second. If I run over 10 Tibetans in a row, I get 10,000 points. I'm like, huh, that doesn't seem right, but it's a game, so it's okay.
No, well,
the game was still really fun.
It was never released on that format. GTA 1 was always on CD.
Real quick, when you bought Half-Life, didn't it come with Counter-Strike? I remember playing Counter-Strike a lot more, and I thought it came in the same
I'm pretty sure it was bundled. They liked to bundle Half-Life and stuff. The original Counter-Strike was actually called Half-Life Counter-Strike. I thought that was pretty cool. Even though they're not in the same universe at all. At least now they aren't. Back then they might have. Who knows? Maybe I'll make a theory. I like to make Half-Life theories on my channel. You should go subscribe.
nice little plug there, dude. Good job.
There you go. Oh, you have a channel. Oh, let me see that.
But no, Counter-Strike.
No, that's a bookmark that will never be revisited.
My most recent video was me joking about Elon Musk and how he said that he would buy Valve and force them to release Half-Life 3. He literally tweeted that.
Oh, I remember seeing that. Yeah, he did, didn't he?
It was like the most magical thing I've ever seen.
Well, he does.
Elon Musk is our new Lord and Savior. Lord Gaben.
Well, I think since the Joe Rogan experience, he's got.
Yeah, it's a shame because a lot of investors are pulling out because of all the stuff he's doing. But it's just so entertaining.
All his tweets are now vetted. That's the thing. When he's posting this stuff more recently, those tweets have been vetted by a Tesla vetter.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
Well,
he's become so much of a legend that
it's called cause and effect, though. You can't run a multinational.
Well, no, he was no different than Bill Clinton. He did not inhale.
Yeah. Oh no, he did inhale. And he admitted he liked it.
It was a very awkward inhale. And to be fair to Elon, it was a spliff. It was half tobacco, and just for some reason, I can't do them at the same time like that. It just, I don't know. Makes me.
I especially like how all the businessy guys hate on him for doing it, but after seeing the live stream for myself, I noticed. He actually looks kind of what's the word?
Comfortable.
He looks uncomfortable taking it. Like he's like, it's legal, right? Yeah, I guess it's kind of good.
Exactly.
I don't feel any.
He was totally uncomfortable.
You can have this back.
Yeah. That's what I mean. He looked like he was out of his league, right? I mean, he was not in his his safe space. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just I'm doing this because maybe I'm gonna look a bit hip, get a few extra points. Yeah, sad.
I think it was more that Joe Rogan is here, smoke this. And he's like, all right.
No, it's like watching your father try and dance or something. It's one of those really embarrassing moments. It's like, why did you do it?
It's like when you show your 40-year-old dad a meme and they're like, oh, that's pretty good. I don't find it funny at all. Not that I have any experience with that, by the way.
Hey,
Right, you got any Garfield?
nothing wrong with being in your 40s.
I like Garfield.
Children.
Well,
He's
since
tough as a man.
Hey, I'm in my you like everything, you fucking autistic.
This is where people talk.
well, no, since we're just talking about random fucking topics here, I don't know. Cabby, you grew up with like the Atari, right? Yeah, you old bastard.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Damn right. Yeah, I had asteroids, mate. I had the Atari that looked like it was made out of wood. You know, wooden.
Was Space Invaders your favorite? I actually liked Space Invaders better.
I did. I enjoyed. Galaxians was better though. But yeah.
I actually still have my old wooden Atari.
Good man.
I was so
That's
mad.
worth a fortune now, you know, if it's in decent condition.
That's what I'm
worth
saying.
a lot of money.
Dude, I had one with the original fucking box still, and I had it in storage, and my ex didn't pay the storage. I was so fucking pissed. Oh god.
Wow. You got storage wars?
My dad grew up in a trailer park. I don't think he had any of that stuff.
You never know.
In Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Hey, it's
well, I mean, you can still find Atari if you're lucky at like a yard sale or something, and you might be able to find it in the original box.
Just keep an eye on their storage.
Dude, that's how they found like an original copy of the Declaration of Independence. Here's a painting, $5. You open it up, it's like, what the heck is this old paper? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I would shit myself. Yeah, that did happen. I would shit myself if that happened to me. Like,
holy shit, I just became a billionaire for having this.
Yeah.
I'm still relying on my cousin to have won the winning ticket in North Carolina. I haven't heard from him in a while, though.
Well, hey Cabby. Cabby, you're in England, man. How about you check out some yard sales and find me a copy of the Magna Carta?
Cabbage will do that right after he finds that his $100,000 in Bitcoin that's buried away in a landfill.
I mean, it's actually garage sales around here all the time. Maybe someone has a copy of the Texas Constitution back when it was a country. There might be one floating around here. Who knows?
There is actually a way of finding bitcoins randomly. You can go and grab up old type computers and check if they got any money on their e-wallet.
Is there a fast, efficient way to do that?
No. You gotta be lucky.
That's not
so it's kind of like doing the Stefan Molyneux thing and being like, "There's gold in them Nar Hills. I'm gonna pan it." Except he was in an area that actually had gold.
Yeah, basically.
Is there not an easier way that doesn't require any effort whatsoever?
If it required no effort, there'd be a gold rush there. But since there's not, I don't think it exists. I think you mistook that for El Dorado.
No, that would require literally like being God, because everything requires some level of effort. Because I mean, everything is just a process and entropy.
What do you mean? I'm actually going to have to work for my money?
Well, I mean, define work.
Something that everybody hates doing.
Yeah.
Oh, what if you like doing your job?
Dennis, did you?
Oh shit! Real quick, I just got a DM from somebody in Discord, and it's a YouTube video. Jay Leno's Garage, the 2019 Dodge Hellcat Redeye. It actually looks like a pretty sweet car, and it's called the Redeye.
It's in the U.S. MD. Gank it, meme it, logo it.
You gotta get it. You have to turn it into the what's your YouTube name again? I forgot.
Screw that. That's your new intro.
You turn it into
Oh, even better, Mad. Move to Europe and then sue Jay Leno for breach of copyright.
There you go.
You will not get past that man's chin.
You gotta turn it into the MADDS mobile.
Yeah, paint it jet black. Oh, fucking, it'll be sweet. How's it going,
Yeah.
MC?
American Restoration. Am I right?
It's gone. Happy 200 stream.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised we made it to 200 episodes without me being kicked off the air. But you know, we made it.
Yeah, but you haven't got a single. Yeah, not a single one monetized though.
No. There was monetization before the change.
Before the
Reformation.
Yes. Before he lost live streaming for 3 months.
Hey, to be fair, I'm under review right now to get monetized again, but I don't know if I want to fucking torture
After
people.
yesterday's stream and the stream before that one, the stream before that one, I think you're pretty much dead in the water when it comes to monetization.
What? I mean, we talked about pumpkins a little bit. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Man, you got look, your
had
portfolio.
flesh bump stocks as a priority.
Yes.
I didn't bring that up, to be fair.
Well, you didn't. Yeah, but you endorsed it. You didn't bring it up, but you were definitely endorsed. Anyway, we're talking about shoving pumpkins up Sharati the other day.
She's not here to give her consent right now. Oh my God! For a second there, I actually thought that was Sharati jumping. I'm like, oh geez.
Oh my God. Hey Vash, long time no see, mate.
It's just this other boy.
Now I heard
How have you been?
that was talking some shit about some Halo.
Halo, oh yeah.
Halo fucking sucks. It's a fucking hippity hoppity frog fucking game, and fuck off. It sucks.
Just talking about why we should repeal
I'm just saying, I didn't have any problem with my battle rifle. Just 5 in the chest or 2 to 3 in the head.
When you're talking to your battle rifle, were you talking metaphorically? I don't know. Are you?
No,
is
Halo.
this an analogy you're using?
Halo
I don't
3.
know, is this like some kind
In
of
Halo? Okay,
penis
Cabbage.
thing?
Let me go ahead and explain it.
Oh, I see.
In
All
Halo
right.
3,
Yeah, but you're
the item that you can use is the battle rifle, which has a burst rifle 3-round burst.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to hit
I
them
know.
5 times in the chest, then that actually takes down their shield and the rest of their health. If you hit them 3 times in the head, it takes down 2 of them for their shield and then 1 of them to take down their head. So, this being said, with that battle rifle, as long as you can do headshots, you'll get a positive KDA.
Hold on, wait a second. Did Vash say something about a battle rifle and Cabbage? Your mind went to the worst possible place?
Yep.
Oh,
well, I'm getting a little bit late, and I have a little bit of homework to do, so I'm gonna go. So,
okay.
Swinging by, bud.
Take care. People are coming in and out.
I figured that out pretty quick, and it was pretty fun to take advantage of it whenever Halo 3 was in its prime.
Did they change the meta at some point?
Halo 3, they never patched it.
You know, I never got into the idea that I just used to shoot shit, and you know, if it died, it died. If it didn't, it didn't. I never got into this idea where you could just take it down to that kind of level. You just run around and just go nuts.
Oh, dude, the original co-op modes in the first couple, just playing through the campaign with like a buddy or something, dude, it was awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but that's the whole point. But you always go for headshots. You know, I mean, everything should try and be a headshot. I mean, if you can't, go for body mass, and that's it. I mean, the idea that you kind of calculating your shots to get somebody bullshit.
There's certain guns, like for example, if you were to use the battle, or if you were to use the assault rifle, you need to unload that entire thing into them and not miss a shot in order to kill them. And that's one.
Yeah, well, I guess it's different when you're doing the multiplayer ones. You've got to be a little bit more, you know, you got to pay more attention. But
Well, yeah, it's a different game setup.
You got to really be on your game. Like Plasma Pistol was really good and really exploitable because it could take down if you charged up the quad, it would take down the shield, and then you'd have to melee them. and melee was usually.
I just remember Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, that was like
fucking randomly fucking stabbing
tournament.
me. No, like Modern Warfare 3, like you go around the corner and some fucking random asshole sniper's fucking chilling there and he stabs you and you're dead. Like it was fucking bullshit.
That was a great game.
Oh, I used to be whenever it was in whenever I played Black Ops, I used to be surgical with my tomahawk. Just bip you from across the screen, across the map.
Oh, like the throwing knives and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like the tomahawks because of just the way that the gaming physics use them. Because you can have them bounce off the wall and still hit the person.
Well, let's face it. It's not like anybody ever picked Odd Job in GoldenEye and just went around throwing proximity mines everywhere.
Or I totally never fucking typed in the cheat code for the golden fucking single shot pistol. That never happened.
I didn't need to. I did the maze and got it.
You gotta be careful. That's what got Gaddafi.
That was a pain in the ass though because I didn't have a.
That wasn't a maze. That was a hole.
No. Where you're going to get the golden gun. What's really hard about it is it's a certain. You have to walk a certain way in a certain pattern across the room. Otherwise, a bunch of turrets come up and the golden gun disappears, and you have to escape that room. But if you do it right. And this was back whenever you could only get like Nintendo Power or something. Like this wasn't the internet days, you know. Like so, you had to spend time or
dude, Game Pro. It was the Rolls
Game
Royce
Genie
of
Game Genie, man. You shoved the cartridge in the Game Genie thing. Yeah, come on.
Oh, dude, no, that's what we need. We need a meta where we get the Game Genie. Or wait, no, is somebody actually using the Game Genie? Is that while we're all fucked up because we're kind of putting in the codes half right?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, of course, that's why.
I blame Cabbage and MC. Our AI overlords.
Huh.
God, you know what? If I was an AI overlord, I'd be really pissed at you for patronizing us.
Are you currently pissed at me?
Not really, just bored.
Well, no. You remember when they used to have to sell the fucking gaming magazines with the cheat codes in them? Like that old shit, dude.
Oh no! Do you remember? You used to also get the little You used to get those color things, color charts, so that you could break the code.
You remember Ball in the Cup?
Oh, I do. Yeah. I also we used to run down the streets with a metal hoop. It was all good. It was all jolly good japes. It was wonderful. Yeah, fuck you, dickhead.
Jolly good jape. What's a jape?
Bend over, I'll show you.
I was gonna say, is that like a snipe or like a vermicious canid?
It's like a little baby arm.
Wrap it up, B.
You stick it.
One of our driving school teachers was kind of like that. It's a decent dude.
But yeah, whenever you're playing a game competitively, or like one of the things like in League of Legends that I keep trying to teach people is that if you're streaming, you have to be better than whoever you're going up against. At least 95% of the time, because that's the pressure that you feel. So
that's
mathematical.
Hang on, this is the dojo, and the master is saying you've got to be opponent. Is that?
Well, you got to be better than the people that you play against.
That, or you give amazingly good rants.
I do tend to rant a lot too. Mainly because the team is not at all like, it's like, dude, why the fuck did you just go into a 3v1? These three people have full bars of health and full mana bars. Why are you attacking them?
Well, because Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, and if you have like 2 to 3 of those Leroy Jenkins out of 5 of your team, you're fucked.
Then you got yourself a Trayvon Martin.
Well, I mean, pretty
What?
much in one of the. I'm not sure.
No, that is not. No, no, on so many levels.
I'm not sure which realm of hell was invented in order to have League of Legends, but there is a lot of toxicity in the ranked teams. There's people that are bronze that are like, you know, they genuinely die to towers, and then it's like, well, why are you trying to tell me what to do? Just try not to die. That's all you need.
They just started playing the game, and they maybe are not sure how it fully works.
You have to be level 30 to play ranked.
Well, I mean, some folks it takes a while.
God damn it!
Seriously, like nobody else really gives a shit about any of this, right? This is like you're getting into serious gaming.
Well, I mean, playing games like GoldenEye. Whenever he brought up Odd Job,
I like GoldenEye.
Proximity. I wouldn't need to use proximity mines as Odd Job. I'd just use the karate chops. I'd run up to you and karate chop you because you wouldn't be able to look down properly.
Well, but that never gave someone an advantage or anything. No, I just like the character because he's got a hat.
Yeah.
I know, I hear that. No, actually, it sounds almost in some way kind of like if you just look at like Twitter or something like that, a lot of social media and stuff. A lot of folks, maybe if they're not familiar, it's like all of a sudden you get like your parents on and stuff like that. Oh, look at this! They're sending all these things. It's like, would you really say this in public to absolutely everybody? Or it's like, well, I don't know. It's like they're not familiar. No, I get it. No, there's always folks out there that will do that, but it's just like in the game, it's almost kind of like we would call them, and one of my friends, her dad used to call us noobs, but that is a term for somebody that's newer that maybe doesn't have a full grasp on what they're doing right now. Would you say like a lot of the maybe hate that's coming around is coming from folks that in gaming back in the day you used to call them well maybe like a newbie or something like that? Maybe they're not as familiar.
Oh no, we called them noobs too.
Yeah, that's still a relevant word.
What about greenhorns?
Yeah, I mean, originally it was didn't really have a name for people. That's the whole point, right? Because names got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, it just meant for new people, noobs.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's thrown around like an insult. And I understand people that are trying to learn a game and stuff like that, and other people that are wanting to just relax and play a game. Because there's a lot of different games I play.
And like you said, it's whether or not you're in it for the competition or whether you're in it for the entertainment.
Yeah, if I'm playing League of Legends, like just most of the time I'm bored with it because I just go through the same jungle camps over and over again.
You jungler, you.
Well, I mean, it gets a bit repetitive after a while. You get it down to a science, and it's like, oh, well, this will get my attack speed up this much, or this will get my damage up this much, this will get my crit, and then you build it, and then, or you look at the other team, oh, these guys are building armor. Well, I'm going to build ability power,
But isn't there something satisfying as Shyvana and getting fully decked out and then just transforming into a dragon and leaving fire and brimstone in your wake, literally?
Yeah, I've done it a couple times, but I'm more of the person that uses a moo-moo, and whenever they try and
moo-moo.
Yeah, a moo-moo.
It's really running across a battlefield in a moo-moo.
No, a moo-moo. It's a mummy.
It's a baby mummy.
No. You don't know what no. We also need to look up what a moo-moo is.
No. I know what a moo-moo is.
Oh boy.
Yeah, a big flouncy dress. Are you running across a battlefield? Do you not understand why that was fucking funny? You got about your moo-moo.
Wait a second. Words have different meanings depending on context?
They do.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
No,
and
definitely.
he said moo-moo. And he's running across a battlefield.
Moo-moo.
Is a rather hilarious thing to picture. But I was about to go on and say, honestly, if it got to a certain point, honestly, if it got to a certain point with me in a game like that, I'd rather just play Hearthstone.
He's fucking Luther Vandross over here.
Oh, you like Hearthstone?
It's been a good while since I've actually played that. Yeah. It's relaxing. It's really fun too.
Yeah, Hearthstone's pretty fun. It's a nice one. I play that.
Real quick from the chat, Captain Colepile, what's up, dude? He's asking you directly, memes. How big is the news about Whitey Bulger right now in Boston? Did Whitey die or what?
He died at the age of 89, and according to at least one account, he was killed in a prison in either North Carolina or Virginia, I believe, was the federal penitentiary he was at. Which
Whitey Bulger.
Whitey Bulger was the last Irish mobster left, dude. That's who Whitey is. He's the last of the Irish mob.
Did you watch Jack Nicholson in oh god, what's the movie? I'm from the Boston area and I don't even remember. Not The Departed. The other one. No, not The Departed.
Jack Nicholson was in The Departed.
Okay, no, that was The Departed. No, I'm thinking of the other one. I was confusing names there. I'm a nerd.
How big do you think the funeral will be in Boston?
Dude, that man I used to work with a guy. He's probably not quite Whitey's age, but he grew up when Whitey was in charge down there. And you did not mess with that man. Like, he had certain friends and stuff, like they'd be like decent businesses and stuff like that. One of Whitey's guys would come up, he's like, yeah, we're gonna need the 200 grand by the end of the week. And the dude literally just had like sell everything. He's like, I will be dead if I do not do that.
Captain Colepile says West Virginia, and he was murdered. The Irish mob is dead for all intents and purposes, right? And thank you, Sherardi, for the congrats on the 200th episode. I appreciate it. But the Irish mob is dead. It's gone, right?
Well, obscure reference here is my dad's friends. They used to make a joke. They say, Mr. Memes looks like Whitey and stuff like that. And I always heard them say that my dad looked like Whitey. I'm like, what the heck are they talking about? And then one day, all of a sudden, like, I had the sound down on the TV and a picture came up, the picture with Whitey wearing that Red Sox hat. My dad has the exact same hat. And I just look over at the TV screen. I'm like, why the hell's my dad on TV? it actually was a very eerie resemblance, except my dad's.
So
like,
did that. Oh, they were trying to claim that you were cucked.
Well, you're going into other topics there, which.
Well, no, and Captain Colepile says, memes, you're thinking of Johnny Depp in Black Mass. Johnny Depp.
I was thinking of The Departed, but I was thinking of that other movie with Matt Damon, so that narrows it down.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon was in The Departed, you cunts. God damn it, dude.
He was also in The Martian.
What was that other one? The Boondock
Saints.
Yeah, the Boondock Saints. There you go.
William Dafoe.
Boondock Saints is cool.
I need to watch that one again.
I like which one? The first or the second, Pum Pum?
First one. I've never seen
the original.
Yeah, first one's best.
That movie was banned from distribution for like a couple of years, and then they released it and everything, and just it was a well-crafted narrative there. I mean, it was a lot of bullshit. It's like, rope? What the fuck are you going to do with the rope? It's a good thing we brought the rope.
Yeah, I mean, that's a recurring gag. That's what's good about it, is because it was doing that, but it was also being criminal noir.
It's playful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's playful. You know, it's a playful script.
That's right, Rambo. Get your stupid.
Well, it's a playful script about murdering gangsters and like murderers.
Yeah, but then again, so is Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I mean, that's what any comedy is. I mean, like,
they're doing their job, but they're still being human.
Exactly. You think
that movie was
what is it? What is it to be human? Right. After all, I mean, that's the question that's clearly being asked. Yes.
To have error and make
the empathy for whom? That's the problem. Empathy for whom? You know, or for what?
That
people have empathy for dogs and things like that, and cats. Usually,
people
cats.
have empathy for what was it, Roombas?
Well, people have empathy for many.
Really, I empathize with my Rumba. Oh, the poor thing, it's got to work all day. Well, you go buy it dinner in the evening. You take it out for a dinner. Just you poor.
Well, I just want to point out we were talking about the Irish. We were talking about the Irish mob, and now Voice of One has shown up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so don't blow me up, bro.
Don't put a potato in my tailpipe, man.
Don't worry, Voice of One hasn't said a word yet, so you're okay.
No.
He'll let you know. That's the one thing about the Irish. At least they always give you a warning.
That's why you got to be. They don't say anything.
He's writing you a well-crafted letter of complaint.
There you are. Yes, and when you receive it, it's going to go boom.
So what did I miss?
Well, you have to send him a package.
Oh shit!
No, just a letter. A letter of complaint.
Yes.
You could report him, unless you're of a particular mindset that you shouldn't do that.
No, I'd rather take direct action.
Yes, you see, he's Irish. You don't fuck about.
A letter's cheaper than a plane ticket.
But I believe that mafias will always okay, is there still the bloodlines of those people?
Now, there's still going to be some mythos behind it. I mean, yeah, it's still going to continue. The only difference is, like how it gets buried. I mean, most of the mafia, anyway, they dispersed into businesses. They all had their front companies and things like that, which, ended up, their families inherited and everything. So there's still all of the.
Well, I'm not talking about the Italian mafia, though, Cabby. I'm talking about the Irish mob out of Boston. It's pretty much dead and buried.
Same principle. Yeah, but it isn't. No, there's still going to be a core. Like you go to Boston, and there'll be a particular pub, which is still staunch IRA. You're going to still go to it. There's going to be pubs all over. There's always going to be those people.
My ex-roommate had a $sign tattooed on his neck.
Did he? Well, did you kiss him?
Well, he was Irish. I'm not so sure if I saw him and say
Sorry, it's just I'm just so sick and tired of this shit.
No, Cab, you have to remember that Memes doesn't kiss anybody unless they're in a furry suit.
Yeah, well.
I guess it's a good thing that Sir Wolfie escaped then.
Did you kiss his furry?
No, she was not in a suit. She simply had the proper decor on the outside, on the inside.
Fucking give him the bloody option. Seriously, he'll go fucking weird.
You bunch of degenerates. No. I do know tomorrow I plan on doing a Halloween show. My birthday's coming up on November 2nd. So on
is
Friday.
It going to be spooky?
I don't know. I think we're going to go paranormal. I'll find something.
No, please don't. It's all dull. It's all bollocks. What about the...
We should talk about the real Ghostbusters.
6th of November, mate. V for Vendetta. Easily. I mean, at least you can get into that.
It's not the 6th of November. It's the 5th of November, you
Yes, I did say the 5th.
I heard 6th.
Cabbage did not remember.
Sorry. No,
Yeah.
sorry. Oh,
It is
sorry.
not
No,
for
I
them to
just
jump out of
well, no,
trees
I
like
just
that.
finished. No, I just finished drinking. I obviously spat something out there, so it came out bad.
You're deep behind,
So
dude.
that was me. All right.
No, Matt, listen, if you want to do something spooky for Halloween, right? How about instead of using our avatars for the next stream, we dig up our dead relative and use them as our avatars?
Well, I gotta go to California. I don't know.
No, I can't do that because my most recent relatives have all been burnt, so it'd just be ashes. I've got an ashtray.
The last time I actually had an avatar made in Disney, I was a somewhat lovely blue person. I was actually a gal too.
You were Smurfette.
But on my birthday, I'm hoping to have Sophane come on. Not sure yet for positively, but it's gonna be fun, dude. I'm gonna buy a fifth of whiskey and get drunk, and we're not really even gonna talk politics. It'll be fun. So
what's your fucking man crush on Sophie?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
What is Sophie thing?
I like Sophie.
I don't get it.
And I also hit up the Beard Baron. He told me to send him the link, and he might be able to join, maybe. So
the night Sophie and his own mod's going to come out.
Fuck you, boys.
Yeah. Wow. He's going to suddenly realize that he reproduced too much and he's going gay. Or he's going to become a trap.
Spread my seed too thin, huh? God damn it. All right. But I think we're going to wrap it up. It's about 6 o'clock and getting close to dinner time. So any last thoughts? Anybody want to show their channel? Vash, go ahead.
What do you mean? Any last thoughts? There hasn't been a thought yet. I'm still waiting for a thought.
Fair enough.
Plan set. I play video games usually every night. I normally stream every night. Sometimes I get distracted with everybody coming in and, having conversations and stuff before I stream. So if I'm not on stream, then I'm usually on my Discord.
Anybody else? Voice of One, you've been doing something with Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
I did.
Sick little kitty fiddler.
Sick imagination, mod.
Bastard. Yeah, you've been playing with Hermione.
No, he did do a piece on Hermione.
He did. Yeah, and her hymen.
He got a piece of Hermione?
Yeah, he was flicking that button. Sick man.
We're all going to hell.
Sick individual. Yeah. You're a bad man.
No, voice, show your fucking channel, dude. God damn.
Just movie reviews and shit.
And flicking Hermione's bean.
Yeah, he's got nothing now. We shut him up.
No, it's like this. I mean, come on. It would be nice to do Emma Thompson, but then she'd open her mouth and ruin everything. So,
Well, no, it depends how quick you can shove it in her mouth.
Oh, okay. Anybody else want to show their channel before we
I'm good.
wrap it up?
I'm good too.
I don't know.
All right.
Oh, I came here because Owlie. She said there was going to be open mic, but I ended up sticking around because this is interesting. This was really interesting and rather pleasant to a certain extent.
That is the best review of the Redeye ever. Interesting and pleasant to an extent.
Basically, he had nothing better to do.
Yeah, no, I'm clipping that out for my channel trailer.
It can go hither. Yeah, it can go hither and thither. We do have good days and bad days.
I'd pull some good people to you.
We have good days and bad days, right? It can go hither and thither. But, on average, it usually works out.
Yeah, we're batting 500. No.
We're batting 200 at the moment.
Unlike the Dodgers, who aren't batting at all.
Yeah. Well,
okay,
they're probably doing all kinds of weird things.
Go dislike every one of Voice of One's fucking videos. He's a cunt. Fuck him. And the horse he rode in on. Oh, eat a fucking potato.
Ew, bestiality.
Autobots assemble.
Oh boy.
Peace. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.